Hey guys, Stephen China here. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you how to take the right approach to email marketing and show you my best practices that greatly improves the quality of my leads. So stick with me and I'll show you how. Okay guys, I've recently been discussing in some groups lately about why mixing in with other marketers, sending the same swipe emails, sending the same types of emails, constantly pitching to them every single day is a bad thing. We talked about why you need to focus on delivering value 24/7 so you can sell a lot more products. You don't have to have a massive list, and rather than just focusing on the quantity of leads you have, instead you must focus on quality. For me personally, I don't have to go out there and spend thousands of dollars replacing my list because I don't burn them out on a daily basis. So I'm going to go over my way to do email marketing. I'm going to show you how to do it, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's right, but I can tell you that it works for me. I don't need thousands and thousands of leads every single month because I still have the same customers buying constantly. So I can focus more on creating quality information and converting those people that are getting on my list, compared to actually having to churn and burn and try to replace everyone that gets off my list every day. So how would this help you? The first thing is that it's going to make you recognized as a leader in your niche or your sub-niche. When you go out and you're constantly pitching every day and you're constantly shoving your link down people's throats, you look desperate, right? You don't really look like a leader. You look more like somebody that's kind of begging for money. This is just my personal opinion, but this is exactly what I think. The next thing is increasing lifetime customer value. So what I mean by this is that when you create value in somebody's life and you constantly show them what they need to be doing, you show them how to produce results and you focus on delivering value to help them, and you take all your own selfish needs and desires out of it, they will keep buying over and over. So what actually happens is that there becomes a longer retention for people that are on your list to keep buying, compared to what I used to do, which was churn and burn, where literally you promote a new product all the time, you're promoting the newest BizOp, the newest WSO that comes out, or any kind of product that you're not really sure is going to help your visitors or your followers. So they're going to drop out fast and you end up having to replace them. That's why a lot of people spend money on list building, because of the fact that list depletes very fast, compared to if they had just focused on value and spending the same amount, they would make even more money for sure. Now, by doing things the right way, it would take you less leads to make big money. I've got several friends that make so much money even though the list size is actually a lot smaller. So people would often have triple the list size but still don't make the same amount of money. And it's because we focus on value and not pitching, whilst they focus on pitching every single day and constantly telling people this new product is going to be the one that's going to be their big ticket. Now, I don't believe in that. I've fallen for that hype way too many times in the past, and I don't like selling hype that's constantly pushing all that stuff. I'm just myself, you know. I show how it can help someone, why they need it, and I give them value 24/7, and after a while, the sales come naturally. The next point is that it allows you to charge higher prices or sell higher ticket offers. I'm all about recurring commissions and high ticket sales. So for me personally, I'd rather have 10 high ticket sales over 100,000 low ticket sales. Something you should also consider is that more customers equal more problems. So I'd rather focus on my core audience. Next, it can convert freebie seekers into buyers. So I did everything from solo ads to Facebook traffic to YouTube to blogging, and the thing is, there are some people that come on your list that people refer to as freebie seekers. These are the people that don't want to spend money and are just usually looking out for the free offer. But when you have a bunch of value and you actually do things the right way and use email marketing the way I'm going to teach you, you can convert these freebie seekers and other people, while they think they're only freebie seekers, it puts money into your bank account because you're positioning yourself in a different way. Some people are just a little bit skeptical and they're just not really freebie seekers, but some people are just a little bit skeptical and they're not really freebie seekers. Some people just think that. So the next thing is that you stand out from what 99% of marketers are doing. When you're just sending swipe files, you're sending the same emails to everyone. So you're just mixing in with the crowd, and most people don't realize that a lot of people are on several email lists and they're seeing the same offer. Now, not everyone who comes onto your email list would be on a ton of other marketers' email lists. They may just be on yours. But for the most part, if people have been studying internet marketing, network marketing, or anything for some time, they're going to be on at least several people's email lists. And if you're one of these people sending the same swipe to everybody else, do you really think they're really going to open it when they see the same email copy and everything? You know, like the same title and subject line from another marketer? Me personally, I'm just going to skip right over that. Okay, next, you will find your core group of customers. So this is something I'm big on. I was taught about this by my mentor, and I teach people this all the time. You want to find your core audience and forget about the rest. Most people try to market too broadly, and they try to market to anyone and everyone. But that everyone has a core group of customers or a core group of followers. And these are the people who are going to love you, they're going to trust you, and they're going to buy everything you suggest. So you really need to find out who your core audience is and market to them only. Next, you can revive a dead list. So one thing that I've done over and over again, even when I would think that my list is dead, when you go back in with value over and over again, and you use these tactics that I'm going to teach you and you build trust, you can revive an old list that doesn't even respond and get them to start opening your emails. You can start getting them to trust you again and pull them back in. I see people all the time, literally between my Facebook groups and between emails, they just disappear. I've got no clue where they've gone. And then the next thing, they pop back in after 3 or 4 months. So when you lead with value, you can bring back old customers and make more money for that lifetime customer value compared to just pitching a new product every day. And it's really amazing how just by being the provider of value as opposed to a pitch fest marketer can really help turn results around in your favor. People need to get the make money now mind frame out of their head and seriously start focusing on providing quality for their audience. Now, why is building trust actually important? Well, when you go around and you're just pitching people every day, you're not positioning yourself as a leader, because a leader positions themselves in a way that they're the person to work with. So the first thing is to position yourself as a leader and not a follower. They're the people that you need to be following, and they're going to help you get where you want to be. And naturally, the progression is when you have somebody that helps someone else, they're going to feel like, kind of like they're owed to that person. The next thing is that you want to position yourself as a leader in a sub-niche. So one of the things that a lot of people like to do, like I said, they try to market too high. You want to specialize in something like, I suppose my speciality is traffic generation. I know how to do paid traffic and other stuff like that, but I can show other marketers how to actually produce results around this. And the reason I chose that niche is because of the fact that I know a lot of people really struggle when it comes to lead generation. And ever since Google Ads basically pulled the plug for affiliate marketers in the make money online and internet marketing niche, they struggle to find better solutions. And I've seen this problem where a lot of people are trying to make things work, but they needed a cheap but still effective solution to solve that problem. So I started learning to master traffic generation because I knew that if I could do it, I could teach people how to duplicate what I'm doing, and then later they can reinvest in high ticket coaching, high ticket offers, and other stuff that I want to promote. Okay, so this is one thing that I've learned in the past. Never mail for affiliates. They'll spam your list. When you mail for an affiliate, and I don't mean being the affiliate, but for instance, you might be or have been involved in Empower Network or some other business opportunities. Those type of affiliates aren't going to spam your list because they're a company. They're not an actual affiliate. You're an affiliate for them. So what I mean is that, say you're doing a product launch and you're promoting another marketer. What you're doing is you're taking your buyers, you're putting them on their list, and then they're going to mail from somebody else, and then those people are going to mail from somebody else, and then after a period of time, you're just going to lead these people down a rabbit hole where they're just buying anything and everything from all different marketers. And then eventually you've just created a ton of competition for yourself, and they're not going to pay any attention anymore. The other thing is, if you actually care about people and you actually care about those people on your list, what happens is that you end up leading them into a trap, as I would call it. And basically, to me, it just shows that you have no respect for people that are on your list. But this is just my personal opinion. Like, there's nothing wrong with mailing for affiliate offers, but if you want people to buy your stuff and you actually care about that they buy your stuff, I would focus on either promoting your own offers or promoting stuff that you know they won't get spam with, because you want to keep them in your funnel as long as possible. As soon as you push them to another marketer, you might as well kiss them goodbye, because basically, unless you're delivering a massive amount of value to keep them opening your emails, you're going to put them on a ton of other people's email lists, because pretty much as the saying goes, once a buyer, always a buyer. The next thing is it allows you to sell without using hype, and you can be yourself. This is one reason I got out of product launches and I got out of the typical internet marketing style of marketing, because to me, I wasn't very happy with what I was doing. I felt like a piece of crap, and I didn't enjoy having to hype up every single product just to get a sale. It also made it very hard for me to write emails about stuff that isn't mine or something I truly don't believe in. I don't know about you, but when you promote a new product launch that comes out every week or two, it's kind of hard to really understand what the product is and if it really gets results, because you don't truly have enough time to test it yourself to make sure it does work. Because if you offer, say, a Facebook method or something you're doing with Facebook PPC, and somebody teaches you something new, then of course you can go out there and implement it. But for the most part, when it's a new method to make money with something, unless you have time to actually take the time yourself and try it out, it's kind of hard to put your name on it and have your followers know that they can really believe in what they are purchasing. So that's why I stayed away from that. I don't enjoy using hype. The way I do list building and the way I do email marketing just feels so much better now, because I don't have to use hype. I can completely be myself. I can be genuine, you know. I can be transparent, and it makes me more money. Okay, next. Always over deliver. You need to step up your game and seriously deliver the value 24/7. Because when you over deliver and you help people get what they want, you show them how to do things, and you really want to be that person who gives that much, you really stand out. What happens is they're going to buy stuff from you anytime you want. There's a lot of people that have this scarcity thing in their head, and they're like, hey, if I give out all my information, nobody will buy it. Which is funny, because it's just the opposite. When you go out and you give massive value, you can literally give away everything you do on your blog or on your YouTube channel, etc. Then you can turn it around and repackage it and sell it. And there will be tons of people to put their hands up and say, I'll take it, just because of the fact that you're there to give them all that information in one convenient place. So don't feel like if you go out and give a ton of value, you're not going to make sales, because I'm telling you, if you just shut that out of your head, it's going to be just the opposite. If you put 3 to 6 months into really building out, whether you want to do a blog or you want to even do some free traffic to build your list, it doesn't really matter how you go about this. But if you constantly over deliver, when you actually do a pitch, you're going to make a whole bunch of sales, and it's just like opening the floodgates. The next one is to share your stories and beliefs. This is one thing that really builds trust. People are pretty bored with their own personal lives probably, and the reason that they're wanting to make money to create a business online is because of the fact that they're not happy with their current situation. So maybe it's their job, or it could even be their current situation, what it's like around their life at home. Maybe they're not happy with their spouse, or maybe they just want something better for life, or maybe they just want like a Ferrari, okay? But, you know, it really doesn't matter what they want. But for the most part, it's your job to entertain them by sharing your stories and beliefs. That's what's going to get them to really engage with you, get them to follow you, and you can create your core audience. And when you actually share your stories and your beliefs, it's going to build that trust factor where people want to deal with you and you only. Alright, now the next thing is the different types of emails. So the rest of this course is actually going to be going through the different types of emails, which I'll give you examples of how to do them. And this is going to show you why you need to start learning to write your own emails and start doing your own email marketing. Because using the same titles, the same subject lines, and the same body copy that everybody else is using, your subscribers will have exactly that same mindset, which is you're just like every other typical marketer. So you want to stand out. You want to be that 1%. It's completely fine to model off those different emails and to make your own version, but you want to at least rewrite it and brand it to yourself, because you want to stand out. You want to use a different subject line, and you want to put your stamp on the copy you're sending out. I remember when I first started with email marketing, I didn't know all this stuff, and I had to learn by reverse engineering others and basically rewriting other people's emails. Eventually it got to a point where I can sit down and write out an email about anything I wanted, and I don't have to model off people anymore, but I still filter marketers' emails when I get ideas from other people if I do ever run out of ideas. But for the most part, I know how to write an email on anything that I'm promoting or anything that I want to achieve. So right now, I'm going to go through and show you the different types of emails you can send, and all these are geared towards building trust and getting people to buy your stuff. So the first one is sharing your beliefs. The purpose of this is to share your beliefs and build a relationship with people who agree with you. Some people will be upset, some people will love it, and you'll repel people you don't want to work with. I can tell you now that one of the worst things ever is marketing too broad, attracting a bunch of people you don't like, and then you end up with a business that you end up hating. So what's going to happen is when you share your beliefs and you actually say what you think, what you actually truly believe, you'll stop being scared of what other people are going to think of you and stop worrying about your self-image of people who dislike you. Because this is the biggest thing that I suffered from the start. If people were to reply back, which I can tell you, if you're a new email marketer, there should be plenty of times in your future career where people write back to you and call you everything under the sun, and they may say mean things to ruin your day. And in the beginning, it used to ruin my day. It used to really affect me. But now I just laugh at it as every time something like that comes through. So when you do emails like this, you share your beliefs. It's kind of like talking about politics or religion, I guess. You're just going to piss some people off, and there are going to be some people that don't agree with you. But the point of this is to filter those people off. Get them to unsubscribe and only keep the people that you want to do business with. And this is why I don't focus on quantity. I focus on quality. I want to work with people that I want to work with. So a subject for this would be an example of, I get so annoyed when marketers pitch me every day. Now this is going to resonate with people that hate that. They're going to be like, yeah, me too. And they're going to be the ones who are opening it up because they're going to be curious. So you want to get the attention of people that don't like this. Now, of course, there's also going to be people that don't like what you do, but you're going to do a subject line like this because this is going to get their attention of someone that agrees and thinks exactly like you. So then the body copy would be, do you agree? Every time I open my inbox, the same marketers are pitching the new shiny object of the day. Let's be honest, does this help anyone? I don't think so. So obviously the email will go further than that, but the example of this, you are just basically sharing what you think, sharing exactly what you believe in the industry or something you're passionate about. And what this is going to do is it's going to build trust and build a relationship with people who relate to you and actually agree with what your point of view is. And that is the point of sharing your beliefs. Now, the next one is the story email. The purpose of this is to engage, to build trust, and people love to read stories. A perfect example of this would be to think about something like this in these gossip magazines. So in the UK, we have things like Heat magazine, OK, and Now magazine, and these things are basically all these crazy stories about celebrities and the stuff they're doing in their life. And people love to read stories that gets them more engaged compared to a traditional editorial column. So when people read the newspaper, a lot of times it's boring. It's just basically what happened. But when they're reading stories, it engages them, it gets them interested. So the subject would be my aha moment. So I'm just going to tell a story. About a year ago, I used to spam my list with new offer after new offer. I thought this is what I should be doing because I watched big name marketers doing the same thing. Can you relate? One day I decided to change things up based on another marketer that I followed, and I noticed he always over-delivered on value. Once I tried this, I noticed more people open my emails and I made more money by promoting one product. It was then that a light bulb went off and I knew why I wasn't making as much money as I could be. Now obviously I could type this into however I want. I could take them to a blog post, I could take them to a video, I could take them to even my own offer. But the whole point of this email is to really build trust and to reel people in. And one thing I want to mention, which I forgot to bring up at the beginning as its segment, is that if you notice, a lot of my emails, the way I write like I'm talking to one person. Even though I'm talking to many people, I'm still writing in a form that connects and resonates with one person. So it's like I'm just talking to you directly across the table as a friend. And you notice how I ask questions, I stop to emphasize on a point. When you do your emails, you want to really write like you're trying to connect with somebody, because this is where 99% of marketers don't get it. They're only marketing to a broad market. They're not really caring about the person in that email. And you want to write your emails to build trust, to get those people to like you and to realize that you look at them as a person and not just a number. The next type of email is called the Ask email. The purpose of this is it helps you to get feedback or suggestions. So a subject could be, can you help me out? And then of course the people are going to be like, what does he want? but when they actually open up that email, it could go something like, for the last week, I've been back and forth and creating a forum for fans and people who resonate to making it successful, interacting and sharing feedback with each other. But I'm not sure if this is something you would be interested in. Now, notice I emphasized on you. Would you mind giving me some feedback by replying to this email? So the whole point of this is just to get in and say, yes, I want a forum, or I'm not interested, or yes, I want to be somewhere so we can actually hang out and talk to each other. I have also used this. If you want to do a survey, another way you can do it is you basically ask them to take a short survey, so that way you can get feedback on what information they want you to create. So the way I did this in the past is I figured out, like, I want to know the age of my audience. I wanted to know what kind of income level they make. I want to know what problems they're having in their business and what they most wanted to learn. So was it list building, traffic generation? Was it psychology, maybe copywriting? What did they want me to teach them? So asking in an email is a simple way to build trust, because when they do this, or when you do this, they look at you like you actually care. Now, the next type of email is a bullet email. The purpose of this is to let people know what they'll learn or what they're about to see on a sales page and build anticipation and desire. So one thing you can do before I go into this, I'm using a webinar example because I've done this before. But if you have a sales page, you can simply do a follow-up sequence for 3 or 4 days where you're promoting that offer to get people to buy, and you can use the bullet points. So for each day, you can just write a new email, a new subject line where you're basically going off of the bullet points of your sales page. So say you're selling a product, or maybe you're even selling a business opportunity. On the sales page or the sales video or something like that, they're going to talk about different things. So you can just use those as bullet points. Then every day you would just write a new email. So the subject would be webinar tonight, how to use your story to sell more products and build a loyal following. And then the body can be webinar tonight, 8 p.m. EST. You're going to learn how to build trust by sharing your story, how to build your core audience, how to get people to like and trust you, how I was able to go from broke as a nobody to guru status with this one simple trick. So essentially what's going on, you're building anticipation. You're going to get them to want to show up for the webinar. You're using the bullet points so they have an idea of what's going to be there. Those bullet points are going to tell them if they want to show up or if it's not something they're interested in. Remember, you always want to tell them exactly what they are going to get. Something you need to understand is that, getting clicks is a good sign, but it's useless if the body is not congruent to where you're sending them to. Your conversions will be poor or non-existent, and you may even get people complaining and unsubscribing. But then you notice at the end, I reel them in by saying how I was able to go from broke, nobody to guru status with this one simple trick. They have no clue what that trick is or what that tip is that I'm going to be sharing with them. So if you can involve curiosity into your copy, that can be very powerful and it works extremely well. But that last bullet point is what's really going to build up that anticipation and desire to figure out what I'm talking about and what it is that's going to help them get to that guru status. So you always want to use some type of way to build desire and anticipation so that they actually want to register for that webinar and show up. Same thing for the sales page. You don't want to give everything away. You want to have those bullet points and you want to use some type of anticipation or desire to get them to go there, buy that product and find out what it is they need to know. The next type of email is plan engagement. So the subject, you have to see this, which follows by, I just posted up a new lesson in the Facebook group to show you how I sponsored 5 people this week in my business, completely free. You're going to want to see this because I can't even believe this myself, just how easy this is. Check it out here. So the point of this is just to get people engaged and get them to actually want to head over there and find out what it is you're sharing. So it's a very simple email and you're not going to go into too much detail with the email. It's just going to be to get their attention, let them know that you've created something that's going to help them and get them to want to actually go through by clicking on that link and checking it out. And the plan engagement emails are what I use most often. A lot of times I send emails like this for my blog posts. So I would just let them know that what I have, here is where you can get it. And this is what it's going to do for you. Here's a link. Okay, now the next is the empathy email. The purpose of this is obviously to build empathy and trust. So an example of this would be, I can't just believe what I witnessed today. I just witnessed a popular marketer insulting his customers and cussing right on his Facebook wall. I don't know about you, but this makes me cringe. Treating customers like this is just plain wrong. So the whole point of this is to build up this trust factor where you're telling these people, I agree with you. I think it's silly how some people just look at you as a number. I don't like how people treat you either. You want to build that trust with them and build that empathy so they look at you as a leader and somebody that they want to align themselves with. The next type of email you can use is admitting your flaws. So the purpose of this is to show basically that you're human too and help readers realize that you can do it too. The main point of this is to show them that a lot of people, when they come in this industry, and I get emails like this all the time, and they will say, Steve, how do I get to your level? I'm just starting out. I have a job, but I just don't have much money to invest. And that is when I relate to them like, look, I was pretty much broke when I first started. I worked 10-15 hours every day, including weekends, to build my business. But I wanted it bad enough, and I was in the same bottom of the barrel position that you were at some point. So the whole point of this is to admit that you have flaws and you are human as well. And you are not anyone special, you're not a guru, and you're not superhuman. You know, you started from somewhere too, and you want it to relate to them, so that way you're building trust and bringing them closer to you. A great subject line for this would be, I was scared shitless. Now, obviously, this is going to get some major attention because it's a bit out there, right? But and it may not be comfortable for you in the subject line, but it's bold and it's in their face and it's going to get their attention. You can change it up a bit, but the whole point of this is to grab attention, to get them to open that email. And then it goes, if you see my videos, I'm sure you can see that I'm pretty confident, but it wasn't like that when I first started. I was so terrified. I kept making all these excuses not to make a video, and it took me nearly a year to get the courage to be able to make my first video. Now, obviously, I'll just keep going more into the story relating to how I was scared of doing something and I wasn't this natural gifted speaker. I was unable to put words into a way that people really grasped and understood what I wanted and what I want to achieve. I had to learn to speak that way, and I had to understand how to connect with my audience. So the whole point of this is to really relate to them and show them that I wasn't special. I didn't have any gift. I wasn't good at this from the start. So if right now you're scared of video too, I was in your shoes and I understand you. It's all about relating and building trust. Now, the next type of email is an expose email. So the purpose of this is to expose an issue or a common problem and to build trust from it. Now, I've seen a few different people do this in different ways, and I'm not big into calling people out, so I just use generic marketers or whatever. Like, I won't refer to a person because the last thing you want to do is burn bridges with another person. There are some people out there who look like they don't care. They'll just bash somebody, call them out, post on Facebook about how they're a scammer, you know? Not the type of direction I want to go in. So it comes down to what you want to do, but the purpose of this is to expose a problem, and basically you're the solution to their problems. You're exposing what other marketers do, and then you're saying, look, I'm not that type of guy. And then that builds trust where they will then want to follow you. So the subject, do you know why they do this? Did you ever wonder why when you open up your inbox you see a bunch of marketers promoting the same old offer? They don't do this because they care about you or they think the product will add value to your life. It's because their product launch or joint venture partners support each other. It's a you scratch my back and I scratch yours industry. People are promoting products to you even if they know they suck. So then I'll go on into the story and tell them about how this is where I started out. I felt slimy. I felt like I wasn't leading people down the wrong path. And then that's how I actually got into doing network marketing and helping people and team building. And then you relate it back to, look, I'm the person to follow. So this is all about basically exposing a problem and then providing the solution. And what's the solution? You. You become the solution to their problem. Okay, the next one is what you hate emails. So the purpose of these are to relate, to build trust and to build anticipation for your own offer or whatever you're promoting. It kind of goes along with sharing your beliefs, but it's basically a rant email. It's just like saying what you hate, you know, what ticks you off or what you don't like. And what this is going to do is it's going to build trust, and people are going to relate to you because of their own experiences. It's going to piss some people off, but I find the majority of people are going to like it. But it's going to build your core audience. The people that really resonate with you are going to be like, yeah, me too, and they're going to be behind you because they agree. So the subject would be, this really ticks me off. Every single day I see people use fake scarcity tactics and hype to sell some new shiny offer. Not to mention, they promote a new offer every single day of the week. This doesn't help me, it doesn't help you, and it's getting really old. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to build trust with your audience and sell your product without using these slimeball tactics. Register here. So you notice how I pointed out the problem, the thing that I hate the most, and why I don't like it. And then I provided the solution, which is that I'm going to show them on a webinar how they can actually build trust and sell a lot of products without using these tactics. So the person that this is going to appeal to is somebody that hates that style of marketing. They don't like where somebody is promoting a new offer to them every single day, and they want to learn how to actually build a business without doing this themselves. The next type of email is a scarcity email. So it kind of goes over what we just said about what we hate, but scarcity emails work, and I can tell you, even I use it a bit myself. Whether you agree if scarcity is a good or a bad thing, to me it's just common marketing, because there are a lot of people who are ready to buy, but they just need to be nudged or pushed off the line to do this. To be honest, from my experience, there are a lot of people who don't even realize that you even use it. But when you teach them things like, I'm teaching you here, they're like, that's genius. So some of these things that people are going to hate, when they realize that you use scarcity on them, and some people are just going to be like, man, I just have to use that in my marketing. If you're a smart person, I personally think that you will use this in your marketing. And I'm not saying that you're not smart if you don't, but there are a lot of people who will buy from you, but they just need that extra push to get off the fence. But you don't want to do it in a slimeball way where you're blatantly lying, because I've seen people do that, but I'm telling you now, scarcity works. So the purpose is obviously to get people to buy, and a great subject to use for this would be only 3 spots left at this price. So as you know, I have just launched my coaching yesterday at a discounted price. The only reason I'm doing this is to get some early testimonials before I raise the price and officially go live with the offer. If you want to get in this offer of $500, make sure you grab your spot now. Once the last spot is filled, I'm shutting the doors down until I launch, and the price goes up to $1,000. Grab your spot here. I did this in the past for product launches and everything where literally it was the truth. I really just wanted to get some testimonials in and then jack up the price. What I did recently here with the coaching offer I launched, I got a bunch of people under the discounted offer who then gave me testimonials. Then after the round of coaching, I have even more, and then I'm going to launch my price at a higher price point. So what's going on here is a prime example of using scarcity. But you want to be honest when you use scarcity, because there are people who will call you out on it. If you lie about something and you say, hey, there is only 3 spots and you're selling 50, and they figure it out, then they will call you out on it. And especially if you're involved in a forum or a community, that's the last thing you want to have blowing up on you. It can hit your rep quite fast. So use scarcity in a smart fashion, because scarcity does work well. Okay, let's move on to the shock email. Dun dun dun. Okay, now the purpose of the shock email is to get the attention and build trust. One of my favorite marketers uses shock emails probably in the best way I have ever seen. Not the way that I would personally do it, but some days he even sends out emails that say, who can I piss off today? Which is just hilarious. So of course that is going to shock somebody, like, who's trying to piss me off? It's really going to grab their attention, but you can really use it in different ways. I'm just giving you an example of how this works, but it builds trust, it gets attention, and it gets them to open. So the subject is, they disown me for this. Now, of course, most people are going to say, what did you do, Steve? Well, I recently made the choice to get out of product launches and promoting the new shiny object of the week. I've had people call me an idiot for getting into network marketing and how it's just a scam. However, I feel the same way about the business model that they were doing. And I only want to focus on helping people and my subscribers. I feel it's the best decision for myself and my followers. Now, what this is going to do, and I used this in the past, some people are going to say, network marketing, I hate that stuff. And other people are going to be like, yeah, I'm really tired of people promoting everything to me. And that is going to get their attention. They're going to look at me as, well, what is he doing now if he's just going to help people? Everything I do comes down to building trust, because once you build trust, people will buy everything that you sell. If you have a notepad beside you, I suggest writing that down. Everything I do comes down to building trust, because once you build trust, people will buy everything that you sell. The next type of email used is the call me email. I've used this before and there's multiple purposes for it. 1, to build trust. 2, to help people push over the edge of actually buying. And then the other thing is that you use it as an upsell strategy. So a lot of people, what you'll find is when you actually give away your phone number or you give away details, they will never act on it. There's been times before I've given people my Skype contact and said, hey, call me, and I got 0 calls, but it did bring in a lot of sales. And what it is that most people are hiding behind pen names, and most people are basically hiding behind their email, and people don't really trust them to buy. But then when you offer to say, hey, call me, I'm here to answer your questions, then that fear of where they're thinking you're going to scam them, it bombs that trust factor that they're holding on to go, because they're thinking, who would actually give me their phone number to call them? But most people will not do that. I actually learned this from Frank Kern, and he had this thing where when he sold Mass Control, he offered all the people his personal contacts, he offered every one of them an hour of consulting calls, which with the amount of copies that he sold, that was a lot of consulting to do. But guess what? 0 people took him up on the consulting call. What happens is when you actually offer your number out there, you're offering something extra which shows that it actually takes their time and they have to actually step up to the plate to do it. And most people, even when they buy a product, won't even make it 10 or 20 minutes in. They just buy it and then it's just left on their hard drive for whatever reason. So when you offer your number, there's going to be very few people who would take you up on it. But I've used it before. When they actually call me, I get them talking and they tell me their problems. And the next thing you know, I'm able to upsell them into another program or a higher tier program. And with apps on mobile devices these days, you can even consider offering people your WhatsApp ID. In China, a lot of people are using something called WeChat. So this is also something you can consider. Now, for the subject, we could use something obvious like, hey, call me. And it's going to get their attention like, what do you mean, call me? And then when they open it, it will go something like, I know you've been on my email list and you've been reading my emails, but you haven't joined me yet. If you're on the fence about getting started, I'll be in my office until 4 p.m. today. Feel free to give me a call at blah 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 and we can go over any questions you might have. If you're ready to get started, then join here. I did this in the past and I got 0 calls, but that email literally got me some good sales. And what it is, it pushes people off the edge. It gets them to a point where they trust you and they're thinking, if he's given me his phone number, then I can trust him. And most people, I haven't really seen anybody do this other than a few marketers use this strategy, and I don't really know why a lot of people don't do it. I guess they think in their head that if they give their email out, everybody's going to be spamming them or calling them, but nobody ever acts on it. It works extremely well. Okay, next is the discounted offer. So the purpose of this is to make a lot of sales, and the subject I'm using here is buy one of these products and get the other 9 for free. So pay for one product, 9 free, or a total of 10 products. I just want to let you know that about my special sale that I'm having this weekend. I'm going to let you get all 10 of these products for just the price of hassle-free outsourcing at $47. I'll be shutting this down on Sunday midnight EST. Get your discounted price here. So if you noticed, I mixed in a bit of scarcity so they have a small amount of time or a small window to get it, because that's going to push them off the line. And then I also give them a discounted offer where they're going to get everything for $47, which they won't be able to see that again. This is just a special offer I'm running for the weekend, so the discounted offer works well. If you ever want to just get a nice little chunk of money into your bank account, or when you need money to invest in something, just run a discounted offer, because after testing it numerous times, it works extremely well. And the next one is the amazing offer. The purpose is to get a lot of people to obviously buy. So basically you're going to offer something that is just so good rather than having an amazing offer. I like to call it the irresistible offer. So you offer them something so good that it's going to capture the audience on your list so well that they just can't turn it down. There's many different ways, but you just want to make the offer so good that it's so hard for somebody to say no. And then you mix in a bit of scarcity as well. so a limited amount of people and bang, you sell out. So a good subject example we could use would be, I am going to build your list for you. This is going to connect to those people who are struggling, who can't figure out how to get people on their email list, and they want someone to do everything for them. Another tip, guys, I didn't put this down, but anytime you can create an offer where it basically takes every bit of the work out of it for someone, all they have to really do is maybe send an email or two, or you can create their follow-up sequence for them or anything, then you're going to get a lot of sales, because for the most part, as bad as this may sound, people are lazy and they don't want to put in the work. So anytime you can create an irresistible offer that takes the work out of it for them, where you basically give them everything, they will pay for it. Now with the body copy, I would use something like, how would you like to have a list of 5,000 subscribers done for you? I'm even going to create your squeeze page, create a free product for you to give away, and drive all the traffic. If you don't get at least 5,000 subscribers, I will give you your money back. I only have room for 5 people, take your spot here. And at the end, you'll see I have a guarantee to lift up whatever objections that they might have. I tell them, look, if you don't get 5,000 subscribers, if you get even just 4,999, I don't charge you a penny. So it takes all the risk off of them and puts the risk on me. So this makes it very easy for them. Then you have it mixed in with scarcity of only 5 people. Bam, you're going to sell all 5 of those spots. It's that easy. The next thing is the proof email. Now the majority of the proof email is to build trust. It's to prove your knowledge and show you can produce results. So this is one of the ones to brand you as a leader. So here's an example. 200 subscribers in 24 hours for $40. Pretty good bargain, but most people, even seeing that, they're going to open it up and they're going to think maybe it's for solo ads or something like that. And I say, I just added 200 laser targeted subscribers for $40 to my list in 24 hours. And this isn't low quality solo ad subscribers either. I did a full case study for you here on my blog. So the thing you'll notice is that I'm giving it away for free, and by doing so, I'm helping them to build that knowledge and to show that I am also a leader. So when they go there, they're just going to be like, man, he just gave me something that actually works. The other reason I do this is called results in advance. So anytime you can show someone in advance, and this is actually another Frank Kern strategy, where he basically gives you a ton of stuff that shows you how to make money for free. And then he leads up to it showing that, look, I am a credible source. I'm showing you how to do this, this, and this. And then by the time you actually open up the product you want to sell, what do you think is going to be positioned in their head? You just gave them information they've paid for in the past, or other stuff that they've paid for that isn't even as good or can't compare to what you've just delivered. And then when you actually open up the product you're selling or whatever, they're going to feel like they owe it to you, or they're going to have that look like, what's on the inside? So this also builds up anticipation of, is it right? If you want to use it as a lead up to a product, or even a lead up to promoting a business opportunity, when you position yourself that way, then by the time you actually pitch to them, they want what you have. Now, the final email is to point out a big problem. This is going to be the last one of the series, and then I'm going to wrap it up because this is pretty long. But basically, the point is to build trust, point out an issue, and provide a solution. So the subject I would use here, can't rank with YouTube. Today, someone asked me in my Facebook group, Steve, how would you dominate YouTube? As I started talking to them, I realized he's trying to master 5 traffic sources all at once. Then I spotted the problem. My reply, you can't master 5 traffic sources alone, but when you learn to dominate one thing, it becomes easy. In today's blog post, I'm going to show you exactly what I do to dominate YouTube and Google rankings with video. Check it out here. So if you didn't notice, I pointed out a problem that I was aware of, a problem that people were having. And then I pointed them to a solution, which this solution is me. I'm showing them how to solve that problem. So this is another way to build trust. And when you guys do this over and over, it's going to build up to one big thing. A very simple formula to do this is to learn it, do it, and teach it. So now I just want to wrap this up and talk to you guys about all these and how it works. So these are the different types of emails. You don't have to send these out in a certain sequence. These are just different types of emails you can send out. But what you have to understand is When you're constantly adding a ton of value, by the time you actually pitch, you'll make a lot of sales because you're building this momentum. What you don't understand is that a lot of people that are on many people's lists are just sitting back watching, and it takes the right email, the right person, the right subject line, the right body copy and the right image in the head of someone before they buy. A lot of people need to see something or be exposed to somebody 7 times or more before they even ever buy something. So if your first point of contact is trying to sell them something, and then every single day you're trying to sell them something, and you have all these other marketers in their inbox trying to sell them something, what do you think you're doing? You're mixing right in with everybody else trying to sell them something. Then comes this guy Steve, who is constantly adding value to their lives and showing them how to solve problems and how to build their business for free. And then all of a sudden he decides to sell something, or he decides to join a business opportunity, and he says, hey, partner up with me. Who do you think the natural person is going to join? They're going to join me because they see that I'm giving out all this information to show them how to build their business. Now all they need is a business opportunity to put this to work, the main thing that you want to sell. And this doesn't have to be a business opportunity, this is just my approach. I do my own products, I do my own coaching, but literally by giving out all this information and showing people how to do things the right way, then when I actually present an offer, they're going to join me because in their head, they see that I'm here to help them. And whilst the other guy is just pitching them every day and adding zero value to their lives. And I hear it all the time. People come to me and say, I wish I had joined under you because my leader sucks. I know how they feel because 99% of mine suck too. So this is how you do email marketing. This is how you build a loyal following. And this is how you take people even like that come to you, that joined under another person, and you sell them a bunch of other stuff that you're promoting because they feel they owe it to you. So give them the information, and then when you present the other stuff that you want to sell, they're going to buy it. This is how you build long-term customers. This is how you build retention. And this is how you build a massive team that love you and follows you wherever you go. So if you're struggling with email marketing, right now you're not really getting into it and can't figure out how to do it, this is a simple way to do this. Guys, you don't have to be a copywriting master. You don't even need to know copywriting. You just need to be yourself and need to start sending out emails and learning how to do this yourself. Because once you learn how to do this, 6 months down the line, you're going to be a master at it. And then when everybody else is still trying to send follow-up sequences and everybody is copying off each other, you're going to be the one who's dominating because you're in that 1% and they're in the 99%. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys found a lot or at least some value from this. This is Steve from StevenChina.com, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Thanks guys.